Hello, I'm Bill Connors with the Telepractice Certification Community. Welcome to our video for the December edition of the Telepractice newsletter. What we'll be talking about here today is question number 5 from our series of questions over the past several months, and that is, do I need a license if my telepractice client is located in another state? Obviously, this is an important question, both legally, ethically, as well as financially. So let's take a look at some of the options that are out there in terms of what we can look at for information. ASHA has now an abundance of information concerning this issue. One of the areas that you may want to look at is the ASHA Leader. In this case, it is from 2012, and ASHA talks here about ASHA Site of Services, that it's not really been defined. However, the recommendation is that you are licensed both in the state where you are physically located and the state where your client is located, relative to that client coming under the laws in that particular state. There's also some information under those state licensure trends on state-by-state overview of telepractice, looking at which states do require telepractice. So what we do know for sure is that if that state requires a license, then you're going to need to see a license. You're going to need to have a license to see a client in that state. As you can see, it's somewhat confusing because there are a lot of different ways of looking at this and different regulations, semi-regulations, policy statements, and so on. This is from the Archives of the International Journal of Telerehabilitation, and in this case, this article states pretty much straightforward that a rehab therapist, may only engage in telerehabilitations in states in the United States in which they hold a professional license. Canada, again, is similar in that respect. On ASHA SIG 18, the question is raised on occasion, and the responses vary from the kinds of information we've just discussed to something very specific, such as that given by Mike Towie from Waldo Hospital, where they have a live training program. And again, he presents that you should be licensed in both states. Members at our telepractice certification community have the option of reviewing state licensure regulations, and it's easily done by simply clicking on the state to find out more information. Most recently, in a 2016 presentation at the Pennsylvania Speech Association Convention, Ellen Cohn indicated that clinicians must have appropriate license for interstate practice. Now, she raises some interesting and very important questions. What about if the client is on vacation? What about if you're consulting or supervising? Some states require an in-person visit first, so you need to be careful about that. Some therapists may look at this and say, I'm doing foreign accent reduction, or I'm doing English as a second language, or working on public speaking. So these are all gray areas that you need to really get good information on. So finally, let's take a look at what you can do to be prepared. First of all, take charge yourself. Get legal expertise and legal advice about what's happening. Number 2, become an expert. Research reputable sources for information. By the way, be sure that information is up to date. These things change, and sometimes it takes a long time to update websites. You can consult each state board that you're interested in, including provinces in Canada, to to get information from them. For example, we recently called Alaska because there are some changes there that apparently haven't been fully implemented or fully laid out. Check on your professional liability insurance policy. You're probably safe if you're licensed in the state where the client is. But again, your insurance should cover you so long as you followed and followed the laws, and made sure that you've covered the regulations. Finally, keep up to date. Study this stuff. Find places like social media, the Telepractice for Certification Community Facebook page, LinkedIn pages. You need to be careful, of course, about social media accuracy, but sometimes that's where you're going to see information and ideas first. So we appreciate you watching our video, and hopefully you will enjoy this newsletter edition for the Telepractice Certification Community.